You rise or fall by the thoughts you dwell on. For thought is the master weaver of character and circumstance, shaping the inner garment of your nature and the outer garment of your world. As you have woven in ignorance and pain, so you may now weave in enlightenment and happiness. As you think in your heart, so you are, and this truth reaches out to every condition and circumstance of your life. You are literally what you think, your character being the complete sum of all your thoughts. Every rise, every fall, every outcome begins in the hidden chambers of your mind. As the plant springs from, and could not be without, the seed, so every act springs from the hidden seeds of thought, and could not appear without them. Act is the blossom of thought, and joy and suffering are its fruits. Thus you gather the sweet and bitter harvest of your own sowing. Man is made or unmade by himself. In the armory of thought he forges the weapons by which he destroys himself, and fashions the tools with which he builds for himself heavenly mansions of joy, strength, and peace. By right choice and true application of thought he ascends. By abuse and wrong application of thought he descends. Between these extremes are all grades of character, and man is their maker and master. This is why your rise or fall is never a mystery. You are the moulder of character, the maker and shaper of condition, environment, and destiny. As a being of power, intelligence, and love, and the lord of your own thoughts, you hold the key to every situation and contain within yourself that transforming and regenerative agency by which you may make yourself what you will. Only by much searching and mining are gold and diamonds obtained, and you may find every truth connected with your being if you will dig deep into the mine of your soul. Your life has never been random. Your position today is the exact result of the thoughts you have allowed to take root. A mind may be likened to a garden. If no useful seeds are put into it, then an abundance of useless weed seeds will fall therein and will continue to produce their kind. Just as a gardener cultivates his plot, keeping it free from weeds and growing the flowers and fruits he requires, so may you tend the garden of your mind, weeding out wrong, useless, and impure thoughts, and cultivating toward perfection the flowers and fruits of right, useful, and pure thoughts. By this process you discover that you are the master gardener of your soul, the director of your life. Wherever you stand today, there is no element of chance in it. Every man is where he is by the law of his being. The thoughts which he has built into his character have brought him there. As a progressive and evolving being, he is where he is that he may learn, that he may grow. And when he learns the spiritual lesson contained for him, the circumstance passes away and gives place to others. The soul attracts that which it secretly harbours, loves, and fears. It reaches the height of its cherished aspirations. It falls to the level of its unchastened desires. It is thought that raises. It is thought that lowers. Circumstance does not make the man. It reveals him to himself. Men do not attract what they want, but what they are. Their whims, fancies, and ambitions are thwarted, but their inmost thoughts and desires are fed with their own food, be it foul or clean. Man is manacled only by himself. Thought and action are the jailers of fate. They imprison when base, they are also the angels of freedom when noble. Not what he wishes and prays for does a man get, but what he justly earns. His wishes and prayers are gratified only when they harmonize with his thoughts and actions. To rise, you must first stop resisting the law and begin cooperating with it. A man only begins to be a man when he ceases to whine and revile and commences to search for the hidden justice which regulates his life. As he adapts his mind to that regulating factor, he ceases to accuse others, ceases to resist circumstance, and begins to use it as an aid to his rapid progress and as a means of discovering hidden powers and possibilities within himself. Let a man radically alter his thoughts, and he will be astonished at the rapid transformation in his life. The thoughts you dwell on determine whether you drift or advance. Until thought is linked with purpose, there is no intelligent accomplishment. With the majority, the bark of thought is allowed to drift upon the ocean of life. Aimlessness is a vice. A man should conceive of a legitimate purpose in his heart and set out to accomplish it. This purpose should be the centralizing point of his thoughts. He should devote himself to its attainment, not allowing his thoughts to wander into fancies, longings, and imaginings. And even the weakest soul rises when it begins to think with purpose. Knowing its own weakness and believing that strength can only be developed by effort and practice, it begins to exert itself. Adding effort to effort, patience to patience, and strength to strength, it grows divinely strong. To put away aimlessness and weakness and to begin to think with purpose is to enter the ranks of the strong, who only recognize failure as one of the pathways to attainment, who make all conditions serve them, who think strongly, attempt fearlessly, and accomplish masterfully. Rise becomes inevitable once fear and doubt are expelled from thought. Having conceived his purpose, a man should mark out a straight pathway to its achievement, looking neither to the right nor to the left. Doubts and fears should be rigorously excluded. They always lead to failure. Purpose, energy, and power cease when doubt and fear creep in. He who has conquered doubt and fear has conquered failure. His every thought is allied with power, and all difficulties are bravely met and wisely overcome. This law cannot be escaped. Thought is destiny. All that a man achieves and all that he fails to achieve is the direct result of his own thoughts. Weakness and strength, purity and impurity are his own. They are brought about by himself, not by another, and they can only be altered by himself, never by another. As he thinks, so he is. As he continues to think, so he remains. And the higher he lifts his thoughts, the greater his success. There can be no progress without sacrifice. A man's worldly success will be in the measure that he sacrifices confused, animal thoughts and fixes his mind on the development of his plans, the strengthening of his resolution and self-reliance. Achievement is the crown of effort, the diadem of thought. By self-control, resolution, purity, righteousness, and well-directed thought, a man ascends. By animality, indolence, impurity, corruption, and confusion of thought, he descends. He who would accomplish little must sacrifice little. He who would achieve much must sacrifice much. He who would attain highly must sacrifice greatly. And finally, you will rise or fall by the vision enthroned in your heart. Dreamers are the saviours of the world. He who cherishes a beautiful vision, a lofty ideal, will one day realize it. Cherish your visions, cherish your ideals. Out of them will grow all delightful conditions, all heavenly environment. To desire is to obtain. To aspire is to achieve. Dream lofty dreams, and as you dream, so shall you become. Your vision is the promise of what you shall one day be. Your ideal is the prophecy of what you shall at last unveil. This is the full circle. The law is complete. You rise by lifting your thoughts. You fall by lowering them. You remain by repeating them. What you dwell on, you become. What you cultivate, you harvest. What you allow, you live. Rise by the thoughts you choose today.